What's going on? What is going on out here in these streets? Um, I'm not gonna be here long tonight. Um, once again, I hope you. Sorry. First of all, let's talk about this right here before I even get to um my main point. Right. So I came to the party late. Right, and in the party I came in late to, I heard that the rapture was coming yesterday. And I'm like, I didn't know the rapture was coming yesterday. What happened? Like, what I miss? Did anyone else know about this? Feel like the rapture? So what? Am I left behind? Like, I need to know. Am I one of the ones left behind? I just need to know. Like, these people out here in these social media streets, I tell you, they are really, really a trip. I mean, this makes absolutely no sense to me, but maybe it might make sense to you. So if it makes sense to you and it don't make sense to me, maybe you can help me out here in these streets. And um and if it makes sense to you and all that kind of stuff there, hey, um I'm not mad, right? I just want to know, how can it make sense to me or anyone? Um, I just need help with that because I'm like, I thought nobody actually knew the day nor the hour, this and that, this and such. And it is a trip to me, right? So help me, because I'm behind. Well, I really am behind. So anyway, since the rapture didn't happen yesterday, hold on. First of all, Walt, um, because of you, I actually saw mom's page and I just felt some type of way. And that's all I'm going with that. I'm not going no further with that. So hope you all had a good week. I know some people won't come in tonight. Keep Little Red in prayer. I don't know exactly what's going on. Um, what's going on, Dr. Hardy? Listen, people, listen to me real quick before I even get to the health tip. Listen, Mr. Hardy, and I'll say it publicly because I say it to him all the time. He is really the most intelligent man I know personally. Like, I do follow some people online that are very, very intelligent, very smart. But Mr. Hardy is one of the most, not one, he is the most intelligent man I know personally. I was talking to my family on Sunday, and we was talking about different religions and thus and such, and the importance of knowing the difference and the likeness of different religions. And I told them, I said, if Mr. Hardy wanted to disprove Christianity, that he actually really could logically if he wanted to, because he's just that logical. That if he wanted to actually disprove the whole thing that we have our whole faith based on, he could. And I would have no choice, pardon me, but to believe, because I'm a logical person. So shout out to him, and I'm going to bring him on one day. We're going to choose the conversation we're going to have, and I promise you, it's going to be a great conversation when when he has time, because he's very busy going here and there and going to this church and that church and helping this person and that person. And why are you coming in? Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, uh, while I'm here, I'm still trying to get stuff straightened out. I hope you all had a good week. Hope you all had a good week. I got to come close to the screen so I can see it better. I don't know who that was giving the hearts, but thank you. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. But hope you all had a good week. Hope it was productive for you. I'm hoping that you got something done. Um, something done. I hope that something happened that you needed to happen. Uh, Mr. Wilson. Listen, Mr. Wilson did not get screwed. He played horribly. Okay. If I listen, G, if we're playing 5 games, right? In the first 3 games, I scored. The first game I scored 7 points. The second game I scored 25 points, and third game, excuse me, I scored 8 points. What is my average? What will you say about me? No, it's not screw Mr. Wilson. I love Mr. Wilson when he was in Seattle, but it's not screw him. Sorry. And we might have to get how about let's do this, G, and Walt up here too. How about let's do a let's do a sport let's do a sports show one day, Friday or Saturday. Let's do a sports show if y'all down for it. Let's do a sports show. I would like that. I would like that. So again, I hope your week was productive. Today's help tip, since it is September. Listen, gee, I can't help it. I'm sorry, sir. I don't I don't know what to say. It's listen, G. I don't know what to say. I don't. But since this is September, the last Wednesday of September, the help tip for this week is sepsis. Last week we talked about sickle cell. Tonight we're going to talk about sepsis. Sepsis is a serious condition in which the body responds improperly to an infection. The infection fighting process turns on the body, causing the organs to work poorly. Sepsis may progress to septic shock. This is a dramatic drop in blood pressure that damages the lungs, kidneys, livers, and other organs. When damage is severe, it can lead to death. Early treatment of sepsis improves chances of survival. The symptoms is change in mental status, shallow breathing, sweating for no clear reason, feeling lightheaded, shivering. So we have to be careful, and we need to um, pay attention and make sure that we don't have sepsis. Causes of sepsis: lungs, kidney, bladder, and other parts of the urinary system, digestives, pardon me, system, bloodstreams, catheter sites, and wounds and burns. The risk factors are people over the age 65, infancy, people with lower immune response, people with chronic diseases, admission to intensive unit care or longer hospital stays, thus and such. And I forgot, once again, shout out to MLC of Greenville. I forgot what they had a 4-step thing that I forgot. I can't find it right now, but I had a 4-step thing to actually help you understand what sepsis was, and or um like it was like a 4-letter word, and it's like, what up, biscuit? um like a 4-letter word that you can actually see if a person is suffering from that or not. So listen, help tip: look up sepsis, um look it up, uh read up on it, study it, and make sure you don't catch it. That is the help tip for the last Wednesday of September. And without further ado, what up, Biscuit? once again, pray for Little Red. I don't know what's going on with her right now. I will have to talk to her later. I try to reach out to her today, and she was not available when I reached out to her this afternoon. But I do enjoy my co-host a lot. I do enjoy my co-host a lot. However, we have to get this ball rolling. For the people who needs a scriptural text for today, and before I even get to my scriptural text, I have to admit to my chat. Do that, baby. Do that, baby. And just watch it later, okay? Okay, biscuit. Just watch it later, okay? I understand. I understand. Just watch it later. Before I go to where I'm going to, I have to admit to myself and to the chat and to everyone that I just may be a little more like my father than I will admit. I just may be a little more about my father than I will admit. The only thing that I would say that separates me and my father is that I've done a more adept study, and I have a newer look, fresher look. Sometimes in law enforcement, they talk about fresh eyes, and it's like if you're looking at something so long, you yourself, you will invite someone else, and they have the term fresh eyes on the subject. So if you need a scriptural text for tonight, and it will not be long. No, G, stupid. No, sir. No, sir. You are the chat. No, G. Don't do that. You will always be the chat. If you need a scriptural context, G crazy. For the ones that need where he coming from, where he talking about, he's supposed to be this, he's supposed to be that, then I will say that I'm coming from Matthew, the 23rd chapter. Now, I don't need to read it yet unless someone attempts to challenge me on my talking points. But until that happens, I'm going to go ahead on with my video. Once again, shout out to Biscuit for coming in. Um, she had to leave, but I understand why. Mr. Michael Jackson had a song, and he says, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. It's funny to me how, as we in the society, we all, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Japanese, Chinese, Russian, we all loved Michael Jackson. However, when it comes to problems in the society, We do not look at ourselves. TJ, what are you talking about? Hashtag Mr. Come on to the temple. What are you talking about? And for later on YouTube, whatever my name is on YouTube, you're gonna ask me, what are you talking about? And please, if you will, tell your people who don't have Facebook that I do have YouTube. I do have YouTube. My name is the Temple dash little I 1U at the Temple dash little I lowercase I the number 1 lowercase u. But I'll share that later on. And you know what? G beat me to my point. G beat me to my point. So if you give no, I'm not do that. It's funny to me. It worries me. What's going on, Dion? It worries me to no end how we as a people we see problems in our personal lives. We see problems in our family life. We see problems in our relationship life. We see problems in our parental lives. Inbox me, Dion. I'll let you know what's going on. Uh, and all we do when it comes to our own problems is that we look outward to someone else. I talked about last week how, in order to make us feel better about ourselves, what we will do is we do not want to look at someone that's living better than us. We don't look at someone that's doing better than us. We don't look at someone who is more intelligent than we are. In order for us to feel better about ourselves, we look at someone doing worse than us, who's in a bad position, and then we feel better about ourselves, which is why I'm not going to last week's message. I'm about to say sermon, G, it's your fault. I'm not going into last week's topic. But this is why Barabbas was so important to the scriptural text. So, because we believe that we are this moral entity, then we can look down on other people that we see or we believe that are not like us. They not like us, right? It's funny to me how we believe that we can solve every problem in the world. We look at the president, and I don't care if you are a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care if the president is a Republican or a Democrat. We as people believe that we can do that man's or woman when she becomes president. We can do that job better than them. However, we can't help our own household. We can't get our own family in line. We can't get our own personal community in line. Just saw your question. I'm gonna hit you in a minute. I promise you I am. We can't get our own communities in line. Yet we have become so smart. We have become so smart that we have forgotten to look at ourselves. Mr. Jackson said, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. We start with everybody outside. We start with the government. We start with the pastor. We start with the teacher. We start with anything that does not involve us personally. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, Dion is making me say this. We look at white folks instead of looking at the man or the woman in the mirror. The second thing that Michael says, the second thing he says, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror, and he says, I'm starting, excuse me, with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. In other words, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and the first thing I need to do is to change my ways. Not try to change you, not try to change the government, not try to change the president, not try to change the governor, not try to change white folks. I'm starting with the man, yeah, in the mirror. And I'm asking him to change his ways. This Michael Jackson talking now. Michael Jackson talking. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make a world a better place, take a look at yourself. Take accountability for the bullish. Church folks, I said ish. Pastors, I said ish. Apostles, I said ish. You doing? Stop trying to make people take accountability when you have not yet done it. Isn't it funny how we can talk about economics and we can talk about capitalism, we can talk about racism, we can talk about every other negative thing going on in the world, but we refuse to deal with the negativity in us. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and we was talking, and I said to her, I want to give you a dose of truth, but you're not ready for it. And then she turns around and says, well, TJ, you need a dosage of truth too. I said, I make sure that I give myself a dosage of truth all the time because I'm very, very self aware. I know I have some issues. I don't need no one to tell me that. And guess what else? I know what my issues are. I'm not going to tell you on this platform, not none of your business. Just know that I know what my issues are. So I told her if anyone gives me a dosage of reality, they are only confirming what I already know. How many of you can say that you have took a look at yourselves inwardly, inwardly, and said, you know what? This is my real problem. This is my real issue. Don't blame men, don't blame women, don't blame white folks, don't blame black folks, don't blame the Africans, don't blame the Mexicans. Listen, anybody can and should take accountability for themselves. Yes, good scripture, Mr. Hardy. It's funny to me how we say we keeping it real, right? I'm just keeping it real. You don't keep it freaking real with yourself. You can be harsh to everybody. You can't be harsh to yourself. You can't tell yourself the truth. I don't believe in that crap called my truth. Because if it's your truth, but the truth does not live up to somebody else's experience, then it's not the truth. It's just your experience. Your experience is different than the truth. In other words, let's break it down. My experience with white cops um, at the time of 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m. is different than the experience that other people say they have. And G is on this live. He can tell you, I'm telling you the truth. So I can't say my truth is just my experience because the truth cannot be disproven. And dare I say, let me get in trouble. Let's get in trouble. Let me get in trouble. Dare I say, for the ones that believe in multiple genders, in order for you to have to disprove the truth, you have to go to a place that is illogical and be proud of it. Let's move on. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. The problem is that we don't believe we have to change our ways. We don't think we have to. We don't. We think we are perfect the way we are. We're not. Heck, even I'm not perfect the way I am, but I can admit it. I don't mind getting on my own platform. Yeah, that's wild. That is wild. And it's also a lie. I don't mind getting on my own platform and saying that I know I got some problems. I got some issues. I got some things that I need to work out. I need to change some of my ways. We have been fooled in this participation trophy era that we think that everybody wins and they don't. Talking to my daughters the other day. Shout out to my daughters. They make sure they call their daddy on a regular basis. And yes, they got whooped, they got beat, they've been kicked, they've been thrown, and they still call their daddy on a regular basis, and just to talk. They tell me about their lives, what's going on, and their circumstances. Fathers are important, but I will digress from that. Talking to my daughters other day, and I really broke down why I dislike the participation trophy era, and they agreed. They are younger than I am, much younger. They didn't grow up in the era I grew up in. But after I told them, because see, I didn't just tell them this week, I taught them growing up about the participation trophy era. I even try to switch it up. I was joking with them, right? I was like, well, baby, it's not, whether you want to lose how you play the game. They said, no, daddy, that's not right. I knew I did my job. I know these people listening. I know I did my job. So after you have started with the man in the mirror and asked him to change his ways, you have to, in order for you to ask you to change your ways, you have to first admit to yourself that you have some ways that need to be changed. And that's what we as a people are not willing to do. How long have I been on live? About time to get off. We don't want to admit that we have some ways that need to be changed. We don't want to hear that. Huh? Are you serious? We don't want to hear that. Because we think we are perfect just the way we are. We believe that song. We are perfect just the way we are. No, we're not. But society has taught each and every one of us. And let's go here. Nothing wrong with having a high self esteem, but also have self accountability. Two things can be true at once. You can have a high self esteem, but also have accountability for yourself. That is very true. Mr. Ellison says, and I'm glad I'm actually live on the phone. I can't see really on the screen. Change is growth, and we like going in circles all the time. It's very, very true. In order for anything to grow, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, it has to change. Dare I make a preacher, a apostle, a bishop, or a minister, or evangelist man? Dare I say that the problem with church culture, pardon me, is that and I say we, I'm still in it, yes, we are childish, yes, absolutely. That we in church culture, we refuse to change. Therefore, we refuse to grow. And anything that refuses to grow, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, I'm going to say it the way that social media wants me to say it. We become unalive. Like Mr. Ellison said a while ago, I agree with him. I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. We have become childish because we stay in that childlike mindset. We don't think with our brains, we think with our emotions. We don't think with our logic. We believe illogical. We don't think with our head, we think with our heart. We don't think for ourselves, we think with the group. And as long as I believe like the group thinks and my heart thinks and my emotions think, I'm doing something special. Well, listen, you know what? You know what? You know what? I like that right there. Cause G said something. I gotta respond. I gotta respond. Um, Jesus walked on water. Jesus walked on water. And the head's credit by saying that he can't swim. Mankind will never be happy. Well, he didn't need to swim. He can walk on water. Now, G, let me give you a quick let's give you a different perspective of Jesus walking on water. And I don't mind doing it because this is my platform. I don't care who don't like what I'm about to say. Forget you. G, I was talking to someone one day. Oh God. Oh, Eric, why you out here? What's going on, white boy? I'm gonna need a oil change soon. And someone claimed they called you a few week, no, one day this week because they called smoking. I told them shit that y'all call me first and let me call you, and you kind of dealt with it, but they want to leave me out the equation. Anywho, back to what Dion was saying. There is a version of the story of Jesus walking on water, and since Jesus called the Son of God, the Son of God, they attempt to say that it was not a person who walked on water, but the Sun that was on the water reflecting it. So take that in your pipe and you can smoke that for a little while. But I'm starting with the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways. Look, I see. Hold up, white boy. Listen. I will call you myself like the weekend, right? Because I need an oil change. Cause I'm going out of town next month, so I need an oil change. They the one says, "Well, we call you boy." I'm like, why you just call me? And I could have, I could have hooked you up. Your people got issue with your car, but since you want to keep me out of the equation, I'm glad he ain't answer you back. Sorry, they gonna hear it, and I'm gonna say it again. Sorry, you just kept me in a loop. Starting with the man in the mirror. I ain't forgot where I was. Asking him to change his ways. There's no message that could be any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. And my closing, and I'm so thankful that no one made me use my scripture. But if someone comes on later on and wants to make me use my scripture, because I know someone's gonna say, hold on, Dion. He's not really a white boy. He's just light skinned, and because he's light skinned, and we're the darker complexion, we call him white boy because he's a lighter complexion than us. So that's how we call him white boy. He's not really white. He's not Caucasian. He's a black dude. Anyway, if you need a scripture text for the ones who will try to challenge me later on, we're talking about Matthew chapter 23. And I was going to start if someone dared to challenge me. And I do mean dared to challenge me at the 37th and the 38th verse. People, we have to do better looking at ourselves and actually being able to keep ourselves, hold ourselves accountable because we don't. And when I say we, I don't mean me because I do, but right. I don't mean me because I do, but because I don't put myself and act like the minority is the majority. I'll put myself in the my majority. We have to take a look at ourselves and make that change. No, color does not matter, but since you said your people was a white boy, I will let you know that my white boy is not really a white boy. He was he's light skinned, brown skin, if you will. And I'll just let you. So I'm with you. Color to me, color don't matter. If you can do the job, you can do the job. I don't care who you are. But I'm just letting you know that my white boy is not really a white boy. If you go on his page, you'll see he's not Caucasian at all. Just saying. Any questions before I get off? I will entertain questions for 10 minutes. Is it safe to say, man? Is it okay? So when you say man, do you mean mankind as in humans, or do you mean like men as in males? What announcement do you want to make, Dion? You can actually put it in your chat yourself. Let's make this quick. People, people that's looking gonna be being bored. So you have in Pine Tops, yes, sir, man in the mirror. You have in Pine Tops, you got a men's panel. Women are invited. Dion, I'll tell you a story. Just a little bit off topic. I was in Raleigh in 2020, 2021. and it was a group of women that was dealing with domestic violence. And what happened was the person who I was talking to at the time, she invited me to sit in on the conversation, right? So it was a bunch of women in the room, and then there was me. And 15 minutes had passed, and these women were not really talking. And I caught a revelation, right? I caught a revelation. I'm dealing with an area. I caught a revelation, right? I looked at these women not talking. I said, you know what? I need to leave the room. Me as a man need to leave the room so that these women can have the conversation among themselves. That way they can speak freely because there's no man in the room that might feel some type of way. Sometimes, sir, if you're having a men's talk or a woman's talk, and I'll go here. If you're having a woman's talk or a woman's session or a man's talk or a woman's session, you just need to have who you are talking to. Because I'm sorry, but men are not going to say things or certain things in front of women. And women, I just proved, are not going to say certain things in front of even just one man. It's not going to happen. This is why I left that women's domestic violence talk so that those women could talk freely. When I left, the girl I was talking to, she was like, yeah, when you left, we had a great conversation. Of course you did. Because what happened was that these women had stories, they had things to say, but they did not want to offend me. And I understand because sometimes if I'm talking to a dude or talking to men, and if there is a woman present, there's certain things. There are certain things that men would not say in front of women. You hold them back, Leon. Trust me, you hold them back. If there's a woman in sight, you hold them back. Trust me. Trust me, baby. You hold them back. 'Cause I tell you what, take that woman out. Take that woman out the room. I bet you it'll be a better conversation. I bet it will be. I promise you it'll be. I've done this thing too long. I've seen I've seen men's Dion. I've seen men's day services. It's the men's day service, but because the women were there, the pastor preached from a certain text that included everybody, but it's a men's day service. So no, you're not gonna sell that dream to me, sir. I teach my kids don't buy dreams. I'm not buying one. Most definitely not. G, you ever get answer my question? G. And I still disagree, G. If you got a women's conference, if there's a women's conference, I don't need to be there. I don't. I don't think men should be at a women's conference because I believe that women should be able to deal with issues that they deal with without men being involved. I'm equal. I promise you, I'm equal. Did G get his question off? I got 3 minutes. Did G get his question off? I want to get a G's question. I don't. I don't want to. I don't want to disregard his question. Again, I'm not saying that men are not at women's conferences or women are not at men's conference. What I'm trying to say, because you're not understanding, right? When you have the opposite sex at a certain conference, so if you have a women's conference, but men are there, there are certain things that the woman cannot say because they don't want to offend the men. And if it's a men's conference and women are there, there's certain things that they can't say because they don't want to offend the women. Where is G? I need to see G's. G had a question. I was asking him a question earlier. I don't know if he's still on or not. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, G. I'm sorry, G. I was dealing with something else. I'm sorry, G. You did say something. Hold on. Let's move up real quick. I'm sorry, G. So God gave us the earth for free mankind, made it a profit. Jesus turned water to wine. Mankind learned it, turned it to a profit, and the way to control it. That is a whole totally G. I see it. I promise you, I'm going to actually shoot that and save it. That is that's a different because now you are actually on capitalism. You actually on capitalism, and I promise you, I'm gonna deal with that later on. That'll be another subject for another day. Okay, I hope you respect that, but that's not for tonight, and I'm not being disrespectful to G, because G asked a question, and I'm letting him know I'm not being disrespectful to his question, but that's another topic, and it does not have to do with tonight's video. But I promise you, G, if I don't get Little Red on next week, I'll talk to her. If I don't get Little Red on next week, I would deal with capitalism because that's what your question dealt with. That's what your question dealt with because if you remember back in the day, a long long time ago, there was no currency, and people did trade. Um, if I had a skill, then okay, if you give me, you know, three chickens, then I'll fix your roof or whatever it was, and then we changed everything to dollars and cents and money. So that's where you're going at. That's where you're going at. So I see where you're going, but that's not for tonight. And I promise you, I'm not disrespecting your question. I'm not, but it'll be a later another day. And I appreciate you understanding. Shout out to G for understanding that. So I'm at the end of the video. Start with the man in the mirror. Ask the man in the mirror change his ways. And if you want to make the world a better place, stop looking at the government. Stop looking at the president. Stop looking at the white man. Take a look at yourself and make a change. So your men's day is on Saturday in Pine Tops. Uh, did you give an address, Dion? I'm waiting for one. G. God, listen, I need a sponsor because I want to make my video. I'm gonna work so hard on Streamyard because I have not made stream. I have not put any money in Streamyard yet, so I need a sponsor. If we can find a sponsor, please get me one. God knows. Dion, did you have an address right to your Man's service or Man's platform? Okay. Will it be televised or will it be recorded? Will it be on Zoom or you got to come in person? How is this right here? How is it? Because I have rehearsal. Um, I have rehearsal on. I have rehearsal starting at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings. I still play. We know we don't have a sponsor yet, Eric. I promise you, I'm waiting on one. Facebook not paying yet. Give the church Facebook page out and just ask them to go live while you're doing it. I might participate. So I'm about to close out. Hopefully Dion is gonna put the church Facebook page out here in these streets, in my comment streets. But I just need, if you can figure out how to get past, like, I need two things done, Eric. And if you can figure out how to do that, I might not need sponsors. But so if you can figure it out, I give you a cut. But hopefully, Dion will put in the chat um, the church page. But listen, back to the point, real quick. Instead of looking at outside entities, outside forces, instead of looking beyond yourself, look at yourself. Make the change within yourself. Because if you can't change yourself, you can't change your family. If you can't change your family, you can't change your neighborhood. If you can't change your neighborhood, you can't change your city. If you can't change your city, you can't change your county. If you can't change your county, you can't change your district. And if you can't change your district, you can't change your state. And if you can't change your state, you cannot change your nation. And if you can't change your nation, you most definitely can't change the world. Grace, love, and peace.